9 experienced hikers. 1 tent. Minus 30 degrees. The tent was cut open from the inside. Their boots were still neatly arranged inside. Their coats still inside. They walked into the freezing dark barefoot. Some died trying to crawl back. Some were found with crushed ribs. One was missing her tongue. There were no signs of another group, no confirmed avalanche, no survivors. The Soviet investigation called it a compelling natural force. But what force makes 9 rational hikers choose certain death over staying in their shelter? This is the Dyatlov Pass incident. January 1959, the Soviet Union. 10 students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute set out on a winter expedition. This was not tourism, it was a Category 3 trek, the highest level of difficulty. Their leader was Igor Dyatlov, 23 years old, calm, structured, methodical. With him, Zinaida Kolmogorova, Yuri Doroshenko, Rustam Slobodin, Georgy Krivonsenko, Alexander Kolovatov, Nikolai Thibault-Brugnol, Lyudmila Dubinina, Semyon Zolotaryev, Yuri Yudin. There is a photograph taken before they leave. They are laughing, snow on their jackets, faces open, unconcerned. On January 27th, Yuri Yudin turns back due to illness. He hugs them goodbye. He promises to see them in a few weeks. He will never see them again. By February 1st, the remaining 9 reach the slope of Kholat Sayak. In the Mansi language, it translates loosely to Dead Mountain. The wind is rising. Visibility is shrinking. They are slightly off course. Instead of descending into the forest for shelter, Dyatlov decides to pitch the tent on the exposed slope. This decision will be debated for decades. They dig into the snow. They secure the tent. They eat. They write in their journals. There is no panic in the entries, no mention of threats, no sign of fear. Then, the diaries stop. Sometime after nightfall, something happens. The tent is slashed open from the inside. 9 individuals leave without boots, without coats, without gloves. The footprints show no sprinting. They walk deliberately down the slope toward the forest. Experienced hikers do not destroy their only shelter in sub-zero temperatures without a reason. So what did they believe was inside that tent? February 26th. Searchers locate the tent, half buried, empty. Following the tracks downhill, they reach a large Siberian cedar. Beneath it, 2 bodies, Yuri Doroshenko, Georgy Krivonishenko. Both in underwear, bare feet, burns on their hands. Branches are broken 5 meters up the tree. Someone climbed. Was it to gather firewood or to look back at the tent? Between the cedar and the tent, 3 more bodies are found. Igor Dyatlov, Zinaida Kolmogorova, Rustam Slobodin. They are positioned as if crawling uphill toward the tent. Slobodin has a skull fracture, not immediately fatal, but significant. They fought the cold. They tried to return. They did not make it. 2 months later, the final 4 are discovered, buried under meters of snow, in a ravine. Here, the story changes. Rib fractures, massive chest trauma, a crushed skull. The force is compared to a car crash, yet there are no external wounds consistent with blunt assault. Lyudmila Dubinina is missing her tongue. Soft tissue is absent. Forensic experts later suggest decomposition and animal activity, but the imagery fuels speculation for generations. The group had cut clothing from the earlier victims to survive. They adapted. They tried. But whatever drove them from the tent had already sealed their fate. The Soviet investigation rules out attack, murder, local involvement. Radiation traces are found on some clothing, not extreme, but unusual. In May 1959, the case closes. The official wording: the hikers died as a result of a compelling natural force. The area is restricted. Files are archived. Questions remain. Avalanche, the most widely accepted explanation. A slab of snow collapses. They cut their way out in panic. The injured later succumb. Modern simulations in 2020 support this possibility. But the slope angle was relatively shallow. The tent remained partially intact. Footprints were preserved. Katabatic winds, powerful downslope gusts creating unbearable noise. Infrasound, low-frequency vibrations triggering fear and disorientation. Military testing, parachute mines, orange lights reported in the sky. Each theory explains something. None explain everything. We often focus on the mystery, but this was not mythology. It was 9 young lives. Their families waited for letters that never arrived. Yuri Yudin, the only survivor, spent decades wondering what would have happened if he had not turned back. He visited the site. He attended funerals. He died in 2013, still without an answer. The Dyatlov Pass incident endures because it sits between logic and fear. We have autopsies, we have meteorological data, we have photographs, but we do not have certainty. 9 hikers left a tent in the dark, and something convinced them that the freezing night was safer than staying inside. Until we know what that something was, the file remains open. If this case held your attention, subscribe to the Cold Files. We don't chase rumors, we examine documented evidence, and we follow the silence where answers should be. What do you believe happened on that mountain? Avalanche? Panic? Something else? Share your theory below, respectfully. Because some cases are closed, but the questions remain.